Alright. Come on, stream. Thank God they didn't change my stream ID, my stream key. Okay. First of all, before we get started here, I gotta warn y'all. I'm feeling pretty sassy tonight. Pretty sassy. Don't forget to unsubscribe, dislike, give this video a big thumbs down, and unfriend, unfollow. Do it all because I'm feeling sassy. Definitely sassy. Okay. You know the drill. This is the regular thing. Just gonna open up the world map. Gonna find some unwilling victim to click on. Go there and check things out. I've decided to not talk about sustainability this time around. Not that I haven't been thinking about it a lot more since the last video, but I don't know. Something about the last video just didn't resonate with me, I guess. Look at all these universities that are out here in the middle of nowhere. University of Toronto. This is this one. Rutgers University. University of Hawaii. This is kind of cool. University of Hawaii Aquaculture Program. I have never been to a university sim in Second Life. In fact, I didn't even really know they existed. So let's see if we can go there. Yeah, so that like preamble in the beginning, that was totally not reverse psychology. Wow, that's a really fast coconut. Well, it's a nice looking tropical island. Hawaii sure is fascinating from an ecological standpoint, not just as what it is now, but historically. Like, if you know anything about Hawaii, I knew basically nothing about Hawaii. I mean, I went there when I was 3. Then I knew nothing about it really, except for having this Hawaiian kid kick sand in my face when I was there, and until I was 39 years old, and through my work I ran into this guy who was basically a permaculture engineer, I guess you could call it. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to come check out the sim, I'm posting the SL URL right here. Yeah, so he's this permaculture engineer, and I guess this super rich Chinese family who bought like 400 acres or something in Hawaii. They wanted to build this like permaculture, what do they call those places where, not like a camp exactly, but like a retreat, that's what it was. So wow, this is like really low tech or low quality build, but this is awesome. It's an intersection with agriculture, which I know a lot about, so it's very like apropos that I'm here. But yeah, anyways, so this Chinese family, like really famous old family, bought this huge chunk of land on the island. They wanted to turn it into this like resort slash whatever that word I just said and totally forgot was. Retreat, right? So yeah, anyway, this is kind of interesting, I guess. like a whole sim, and all they have is like this tiny little thing over here. I'm kind of disappointed. And yeah, so they hired this permaculture engineer guy to do all the work, like by himself, single-handedly. Like they're like, here's 400 acres, and you're one guy, and this is Hawaii. Why don't you turn it into paradise and grow us food and all this stuff? Like they wanted to have a restaurant and stuff on there. And this crazy guy, he was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Alright, I'm gonna leave this sim because it's not very exciting, to be honest. And I just wanted to see what the university sims were like, since I'd never been to one before, and that was totally exactly what I was expecting. Okay. Bahai Matapalo. This sounds good. Let's see if I can go there. Yeah, so this guy, he started working on this crazy project that, like, honestly, I think it would take like a small army to handle, but he thought that he could do it all on his own. So yeah, props to anyone. Pitch black. Hole in a wall. Props to anyone who would take on such an ambitious project single-handedly. That's kind of cool. Although the assets are all like super low pref. So we got like a little medieval village here. But anyway, I ran into this guy through another person who was working on another permaculture project where I live, in my sort of home turf. This is kind of cool. And she invited me to come watch a presentation of this guy talking about his work converting this huge property into like arable land. And so that was when I learned about the history of Hawaii, and it's like mind-boggling. If only you could just like click on a ball and experience love in real life. Am I right? Yeah, so I watched this presentation, and then we started talking afterwards. The presentation was really cool because he figured out this technique of fighting erosion, because basically in this huge property it was like the side on the half of it was on the side of a volcano, the fishmonger, and so he had to create like agricultural land on a hillside, which is pretty challenging due to various reasons like erosion, and you have to worry about irrigation, and the other problem that he had was the soil. Like it was this volcanic soil that had no organic matter whatsoever, and that came with its own set of problems. Eject blacklist. Oh, I see. It's in like a security bot thing, but I guess it was never set up properly. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so, I totally lost my train of thought there. Anyway, yeah, the whole reason I'm telling you this story is because I found out all about Hawaii, which I had no idea about before. That essentially when the colonists came and were like, all right, Native Hawaiians, we're gonna take over your land and do things our way. They brought all these cattle, and the cattle just like destroyed the whole land, and then they were like, well, the way the vegetation's growing, it's all wrong. We need to set it up for our way. So they like use all this pesticide to just like completely defoliate the jungle, and they pretty much like wiped out everything in terms of the native agriculture. They completely transformed it into an entirely different landscape. And I had no idea that that was the case. So like when you go to Hawaii nowadays, it's not like Hawaii of the 1800s or earlier. It's like a completely different ecosystem. And so yeah, anyway, I mean I could keep talking about this particular story if you're really curious, but I just like say so in the chat if you're actually interested. I say at least I have one person watching. Yep, don't forget to unsubscribe, because that's the best way to grow your audience, is to piss people off and talk about how the planet is totally fucked and how humans are nihilistic sociopaths. No, but seriously, I cannot lose because I am a misanthrope and I hate civilization. And like literally I was just thinking about 30 minutes ago, like no one's gonna miss this fucked up civilization when it's gone, and the planet will have a giant sigh of relief that the human scourge has been wiped from the face of the earth. You know what I can't stand are those cock-sucking posers like PewDiePie. And I only say PewDiePie because he's the only one of those fuckers I know, because I never go to regular YouTube, ever. Just go to my subscriptions, and I don't subscribe to loser assholes like racist alt-right freaks who are filthy fucking rich and do nothing truly useful with their money aside from PR charity gigs that barely scratch the surface of actually making a difference on this planet. Humans love to give all of the influence and authority to people who don't deserve it, and that's why the world's so fucked up like it is today. And most people don't even know how fucked up it is because they can't see that, because the people who were put in charge are the ones that are responsible for creating this image of a capitalist utopia where nobody can actually see what's going on behind the scenes. It's like the Wizard of Oz and the curtain, and the wizard is like manipulating everybody's mind with his clever tricks, and the compelling lies will always outweigh the painful truth, the inconvenient truth, if you're one of those Al Gore fan people. Anyway, yeah, that's a rant. That's a mini rant, because I'm feeling sassy tonight. Alright, this sim is like over and done with, because I came, I saw, I conquered. And no, I'm not on drugs, but go ahead and feel free to leave a rude comment telling me that I'm either stoned or an asshole or whatever. That's totally cool. Like water off a duck's back, baby. Okay. Posers. Am I right? Posers. Or like, what's that other guy? Jake Paul, Logan Paul, I don't know, some Paul. Like, the guy is a monster. A fucking monster. He should be in a prison cell. He should be in a gulag. Instead, he's like a multi-millionaire with like all these teenagers following his dumb ass. Like going to Japan and throwing Pokeballs at people. Going into the woods to like videotape suicide. Like, oh my god, what kind of a world do we live in where this shit is allowed? Who's allowing this bullshit? YouTube. That's who. YouTube, and everybody who goes to his channel. Guardian Island. We're gonna try it. That's what this world needs, more guardians. You know, like the Guardian of the Galaxy? Since there's no God, clearly, because if there was a God, we'd all be completely just vaporized and wiped off the face of the earth for the horrific crimes that humans perpetrate against every other living thing on this planet. Guardians. We need like the Guardians of the Galaxy, only they're like aliens who are pissed off and they come to Earth and they just kick our fucking asses to the curb and fix all these problems that we fucked up. I really want to take a look at this cool lighthouse. This is a really nice build. So like, humans can't be all bad, right? I mean, this lighthouse is pretty cool. Willem Koba, you're one of the few reasons in this world that humans shouldn't be wiped out, because you made a cool lighthouse. No, seriously, guardians. The Earth needs guardians. I'm not talking like elf-like shit or people who spike trees. That shit is small time. You're not gonna accomplish anything. It's an irritation. If anything, it just creates more hostility from ordinary people. Like, that is useless. And actually, I gotta say, I'm really liking this build here. The assets are pretty reasonable quality, and it's got sort of like a nice vibe to it. It's like an ocean paradise, but it's also kind of, I don't know, there's just more to it. It's not like a typical, well, actually it is pretty typical, never mind. But I'm going to keep walking around here a bit and see if there's anything super interesting. I don't know why my frame rate suddenly went to hell. Alright. Entering a random stranger's house. Yes, one thing I can guarantee, coming to my stream, you will get an experience like nothing else on the internet. Because there's a lot of people out there who do rant videos. There are a lot of people who do gaming videos and stuff. And there's a lot of environmentalists on the internet. But there's nobody quite like Neotoy, let me tell you. My brain is so Machiavellian. It is such a labyrinth that you will never escape once you step inside. So honestly, I recommend just running away as quickly as possible. But only after you have given me a big thumbs down and left a rude comment about my status of being inebriated and unliked and unfriended and unsubscribed and all that other stuff. Because otherwise it's like, really, what's the point? I mean, it's all about those numbers, right? I feel like I remember a while back, like several years ago, there was this project that somebody did on YouTube where they were trying to yeah, there's a mediocre lighthouse. Like, there's a really nice lighthouse on the other side, and then like a totally mediocre one right there. That's just weird. How many lighthouses do you need anyway? I mean, well, I guess there's rocks on both sides, but like they can see each other. They can like signal each other. It's like too many lighthouses. Anyway. Yeah, I'm so sassy. I am even less coherent than usual. Uh-oh, private property, 30 seconds. Well, let's see. I'll do as much as I can in 30 seconds, and actually I have a much better idea. Watch this. Just to show you how ridiculous these stupid security orbs are. Oh, wait. Well, we'll see. Anyway, flew back over the wall. Now I'm just gonna use my handy dandy eye in the sky here to see everything that is to be seen. And that loud scraping sound was my cat rubbing against my microphone. He's probably looking at me with a worried expression, thinking, what's going on? Why are you so angry? Oh, poor puppers. That's pretty. I like this. More cozy coz. I mean, this, honestly, you know, this is one thing that in Second Life I totally identify with when I see this. It's like, yes, the world needs more cozy,
nooks like this. I mean, think about how stressed out we all are all the time, working our asses off for shit pay while the planet is being completely systematically destroyed by a bunch of psychophantic megalomaniac business fuckers. Like, this is the answer to that. This is what we need. Cozy little hangout spots where we can sit and enjoy the peaceful waves. I am down with that. So here's a really attractive tropical plant here. Eliza, we are white. Well done. Looks kind of like a banana plant. Although I would have liked to see some soil down in that pot, but I understand why you didn't put soil down in there, because that way you can sell the pot separately. Wow, this is cool. This is a stainless steel pipe clamp. We use these in the garden all the time, and that's a very faithful model. Look at the polys on this. Oh my god. I hope this isn't actually mesh, because if it is, oh my god, look at the topology on this wire here. If that's not a sculpt, that's like a billion polygons. Oh my god. Anyway, it's totally worth it, because that is just like a beautiful, it almost looks like a 3D scan, to be honest, which is kind of weird because that seems really unlikely. That's a totally cool prop. Look at this, even the doorbell. Look at that articulation. It's incredible. Now I think I know why my frame rate was so low earlier. It was like preloading all this stuff. This is beautiful. I swear to God, if I click on one thing in here and it's Apple Fall, I'm just gonna like, that's it. I'm gonna be out. I'm just gonna like fly the fuck out of this sim. Bella Bertone. I bought a lamp like this a while back from somebody in InWorlds that I really liked. It was almost that beautiful. Yeah, the thing I don't like about the eye in the sky is that the unnatural movement, you know, like when I'm navigating. Like, I suppose it has a lot more technical of a feel to it, like if you were really navigating in real life. I mean, using a 3D program versus a virtual world where you have the potential to use an avatar and walk around in a more natural way, which is my preferred style. And I don't know why that is. Is it like skeuomorphism? Yeah, so anyway, like what I was saying earlier about that you will be getting a truly unique experience on this channel. I'm gonna like out myself right here. So like I'm an idiot savant and a super high functioning autistic. So like there's low functioning autism, which is honestly a horrific thing for people with low functioning autism. Then there's high functioning autism, which is like you can more or less get by. Some people have really amazing skills, but socialization, things like eye contact are really a challenge. And then there's super high functioning autistic, where you're basically like, you're like a genius trapped inside this like husk of a human being, that you have like a lot of problems psychologically and emotionally and socially. However, your brain is so powerful that you can essentially emulate anything. Well, within reason. I mean, honestly, there's things that even I have a lot of trouble with. But it's really a matter of desire and dedication. So, in other words, like, you're in a social situation that requires an incredibly strict and complicated set of protocols. Come on, textures, load already. There you go, come on. That's the kind of thing that a high-functioning autistic may be able to pull off with a lot of practice and observation and learning and so forth. But like for an ultra high-functioning autistic, it's just like a matter of one observation. It's like Mozart, you know, being able to like hear a piano piece and then just play it back without any problems whatsoever. That's kind of analogous to being a super high functioning autistic, only within like the socialization context. And I would gauge myself as like, I'm like a borderline a super high functioning autistic. So like, I'm just a little bit stupider than I should be to like qualify for being what I'm describing. However, I sort of have this additional ability of being an idiot savant. So, and I don't really know how to describe that. It's almost like God just said like, fuck you to all conventions and orders and everything you think you know about intelligence and analysis and human psychology and brain chemistry and neurology and all that stuff. It's like, just throw all that shit out the window, and here's a savant. And now a savant's just like black magic. Your brain is just like capable of doing things that shouldn't be possible. You can take some ridiculously complicated math problem and solve it instantaneously while you're visualizing colors and smells and shit in your mind. And that's just like, it's a hack. It's like a god level hack. It's like you have god mode installed in your brain. However, it's like, if you're an idiot savant like I am, you have absolutely no control over this ability. I want one of these cats. I want it now. Bella Breton. I'm gonna have to like look up her store because that is fucking adorable. Oh my god. The little teddy bear mouth. Wow, it's like fully articulated too. That's cool. Yeah, so you have no control. So it's like you have this ridiculous power. Like you have this wizard's crystal ball like shoved up your ass, and God's like, here you go. Here's an all-powerful crystal ball. You can look into it and see the future. Only it's not under your control. And that's basically what being an idiot savant is like. You can figure things out and do things that normal people who would take a lifetime to master, and you could do it in a nanosecond without even trying. However, it's like, you know, usually idiot savants, most of them have a specialization. And now this is where I think the autism comes into play, that it like scrambled the specialization aspect and made it just kind of like completely random. So it's like you're rolling the dice and you don't know what particular field you're going to have, you know, this God ray shining through, piercing the clouds of obscurity and showing you this information that honestly no one should have access to, because that's how I feel about it. Like, as someone who has experienced these episodes of savant level intelligence, it's like, I don't want that. I want to be a normal person. I want to be able to struggle through things and solve problems at my own speed. I don't want to just have the answer shoved into my brain and have no idea how it got there, no idea why it's right, no idea how to prove it through conventional means. And it's utterly useless, because in a lot of times it's like you get an answer that to a problem that hasn't even been fully revealed yet, so you have to like wait for the rest of the world to catch up to your level before they can even prove that what you've seen or what you have figured out in your brain somehow is correct. So yeah, it is what it is. And that pretty much explains the majority of my like crazy behavior. Is this a cow or a mountain lion? It's a bull of some kind. No, it says catnapping. Okay, it's like a tiger, leopard. Oh yeah, so yeah, another negative side effect of being an idiot savant is you're also an idiot. Like seriously, I make the dumbest, simplest mistakes and like struggle with the most basic shit sometimes. And it's like so embarrassing and so humiliating, especially when it's juxtaposed with like being able to figure shit out that other people can't figure out. So I'll tell you in particular why this is so horrible. It's because people are like looking at you like normal people, neurotypicals, and they're like, okay, you just said the most stupid thing I've heard recently. Like, are you a child? And then on the other side you're like, oh, and I just solved this really complicated problem that like nobody else could even figure out or make any headway on. So it's like a total head scratcher to the people around you too. It's like, yeah, you just don't like fit into any neat little profile boxes that especially neurotypicals are notorious for. That's cool. Hey, I just changed your stove color. I hope you don't mind. Okay, so yeah, back to that's all the negative shit, right? Okay, so there's still more positive sides to being a high functioning autistic and an idiot savant, and that's like you're really into a lot of things. Like I have 3 different certifications, 4 if you count my first degree that I got, and that's just like on the books. Then I have like, you know, dozens of other fields that I'm interested in, that I follow closely, that I have a pretty good comprehension of. This is a fascinating display, and I'm pretty accomplished in just about every single field that I try. And another thing, I can learn just about anything in a fairly short period of time. I gotta say, one of the hardest things I've ever learned, and this is stupid, but I think it's partially because it has a lot to do with aesthetics, is 3D modeling. Took me years to really get good at it, and mainly I have to say that the reason it took so long was partially because of the tools and not necessarily the actual science of the art. This is a nice structure. I like this. I like the decor. It's well decorated. This is tight right here. See, it's a barn with an upper story. That's pretty cool. Yeah, someone put a lot of work into this, and I mean, once again, it's sort of the cliche fantasy setting. Is there a cave behind the waterfall? Come on. Way off the super yacht. I kind of want to check that out. Maybe I can fly over there. Let's see. It might not be on the security orb side. But there's a castle too. This is a pretty diverse sim. Let me paste it into the chat log here in a moment. Goodness, security orb pop up, maybe. Fuck. Just a little too far. Damn it. Ugh. Alright. Ugh, how do I even get back there? I don't even remember what it was called. Let me see. Guardian Island. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna like copy this before I get kicked out again. looks like if I want to look at that yacht up close, I'm gonna have to just be the eye in the sky again, which is fine. It's just a little tedious because I love being able to interact with all the stuff inside builds, and things like yachts and stuff are really cool usually because they have a lot of complicated interactive elements. Another thing I noticed too is when you're the eye in the sky, like the textures take forever to load because you have to like they're proximally dependent. So in other words, like if your avatar is standing next to the object, the textures will just automatically load surrounding the avatar. However, is this like a garage or something? What the fuck? There's an indoor pool and an above ground pool. Is that a avatar? Or what? Ugh. Sexist French maid. Yeah, the patriarchy's alive and well, even in the sub-basement pool room of a virtual yacht. Is that a disco ball? Ah, it's the security orb. See, if only I could delete this stupid thing. Reprogram it. There's not enough hours in the day for that. Like, I know 101 ways to hack my way out of a paper bag in Second Life, but those security orbs, they're just not worth it. It's a nice lamp. So yeah, like I can learn almost any new skill in a few hours. Complicated skills take a bit longer. One thing I'm not good at is language. I'm really bad at learning languages, and that's probably, I think it has something to do with my dyslexia. I have a horrible dyslexia, which is like, I call it, and this is kind of stupid because it's like bordering on quantum mysticism, but I call it quantum dyslexia because it's not just about like flipping letters around. It works in like every direction. It's a pretty nice helicopter. Daniel's Fall. Not related to Apple Fall by any chance, are you? No, just kidding. Okay. I feel like I've seen enough of this sim, mainly because I don't like the security orb vibe. It's like hostile, and I feel like I can't just freely roam around, and I don't really want to not be able to freely roam around. This is pretty cool though. I'm gonna give this a look before I leave. Like the wizard slash witch's cabin over here. I have a real soft spot for cats, so sorry, but you're gonna have to see every single cat in every sim that I visit in Second Life. God, he's a cutie. Kawaii. This hovel is a little less well decorated. Was this like the check-in desk? Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a frog with the Frog King with an arrow in his mouth on a lily pad. That's pretty symbolic somehow. I think frogs are my spirit animal, so whenever I see one, it has like a special significance to me. Yeah, so I'm not good with languages. However, I have this really weird, once again, idiot savant thing that kind of happens with languages where if I hear a person talk in pretty much any language, I can almost immediately identify their country of origin, even if it's like some obscure subcontinent or, you know, area, it's obscure dialect, I can usually drill down, and that's, like I said, it doesn't make any sense because it's not like I have a library of languages in my brain. I haven't traveled all over the world, and yet my brain somehow can just do this. But it's not reliable. I mean, anytime I hear a language, it's not like a sure thing, but it's happened enough times where I kind of just have made these like connections. And that's what, when you're an idiot savant, it's like that's all you have are these like connections. You have to create a profile of your own ability in your mind to get like an idea of how it works, because there's sure as hell is nobody who can explain it to you. This is cool. It's like a eye coming out of a rose, like a carnivorous plant or something. Cool ambient sound effects too. Oh, that's creepy. Like in a really cool way. This looks like a dance dungeon. Oh, it's the shadows of the victims on the wall. Like when the bombs went off, they were projected onto the walls. That's a cool dragon. It's amazing like how many different ways there are to represent dragons. Like some are really stupid looking, some are really cool looking. To me, this is like peak dragon right here. This is how I imagine dragons to look. Although 4 wings, that's kind of ludicrous. Looks like there's some kind of graveyard over here. Graveyard of the fairies. Oh, that's cool. They have like maple leaves strapped to their bodies. Those are really cool. My wife calls me a fairy all the time. Not in a gay way, but fairy logic is what I call it. It's where when you're interacting with another person, depending on what they say and how you respond, you can sort of shape reality using fairy logic by omitting specific details. You can bend the rules in your favor when you're having a conversation. I suppose that might be considered a savant ability, but I think it's just a autism ability. It's hard being autistic, like in a world of neurotypicals, although the balance is kind of radically shifting. I think it's like 60% of people born in the next generation are supposed to have somewhere on the autism spectrum, which, like, I mean, there's multiple ways to look at that. You can either look at it like, well, in that case, we're just fucked in a whole new way. Like, how is society gonna function if everyone has autism and is struggling with not being neurotypical? However, it's like, I feel like as someone who has autism and is functional enough to like observe reality, I'm gonna go to this Arena Kyaros. It's really the neurotypicals that cause most of the problems. That's another beach paradise. Oh well, I'm just gonna give this a shot anyway, because I'm getting tired of hopping around. Yeah, so like the reason Uh-oh. The reason a lot of autistic people have such a hard time, in my opinion, is because of neurotypicals and all their insane rules. Like, honestly, a huge aspect of autism, this is beautiful, is seeing the world in a less anthropocentric way. So it's like, instead of seeing a world from the human perspective, you're sort of seeing the world from a semantic perspective, where this is like the tropical edition of the show, of the Neo Toy Story show. That's how I view the world, at least. Like, we live in a scientific world. I'm a scientist above and beyond everything else. Oh, come on, I want in. And autism, to me, is like... That's pretty cool. Autism is like... You don't have a choice. You can't really live like neurotypicals do, because the world isn't as subjective to you when you have autism. And don't get me wrong, like, everyone views the world through a certain degree of subjectivity. It's just, that's inevitable. No matter how autistic you are. Well, I think if you're low-level autistic, you literally can't. There is no subjectivity. It's like you've had that part of your brain scooped out, which is why you can't function at all, or barely. But if you're high-functioning autistic, you can sort of skate the edge, the razor's edge. But most of the time you see the world in a mechanistic, materialist way, and it's like, yeah, there isn't as much subjectivity, and that's what neurotypicals don't really understand. They think that subjectivity is king, that the world is inherently subjective, and that just by interpreting and viewing it from their own point of view, that is how reality is shaped. But no, it's like reality is objective and you're deluded. That's reality. And we're all deluded, even high functioning autistics. The only people who really aren't deluded are probably regular low level autistics. Well, this is a interesting sim. Like, it's like a build, like it's meant for something, but there's nothing here except for the barest of infrastructure. So I think I'm gonna find somewhere else to explore. I have no idea where I am on the world map. I don't know what this is, this checkerboard zone. It's like a really weird way to organize sims. I think they were like, oh, we gotta start a new block of sims. We better make sure their corners aren't touching, or edges aren't touching. Heart of Glass, that sounds familiar. Have I been here already? Just don't know. Been to too many sims. But that's a Blondie song. Or at least it's a line in a Blondie song. I think it's a Blondie song too. Okay, so just the whole sim is a mall, a shopping mall, and this looks so different than anything we've seen before. Oh wait, no, it looks exactly like a dozen other malls that I've been through that are exactly like this. And you ever notice how, like, it's always just women's clothes. Like, where's the guy stuff? It's just women. And that, like, kind of mirrors real life to a large degree. Just honestly, I feel like it's really weird that women are like this thing to clothing, where they're like the venue for clothes, and like their entire shops just dedicated to women's clothing to turn them into eye candy. It's hella misogynistic or something, I don't know. It's messed up. Yeah, so this was another bust, but I'm gonna paste it into the chat anyway. You broke my heart of glass, sim developer. You know, it's so redundant to name your sim Island or Isle or Isla. Okay, what's this? Palo Verde? Let's see if I can go there. Nope. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Got a lot of green dots. Like, if it's a sim, it's an island. You don't need to call your sim an island on top of it being an island. Everybody knows it's an island. The only sim that isn't an island is the mainland. There's a perfect example of autism and like the logistical, well, that's not the right word, procedural, no, semantic, like the semantic way of viewing the world. And it's the same with language too. When you're autistic, the dictionary definition, let's try this out. The dictionary definition of words is how it should be. When you're having a conversation, somebody uses a word in a dynamic way, it's like almost practically discarded. Because, what is this? This isn't an IBM sim, is it? That can't be right. This is low level assetry for sure. Although like the structure's good, it's just the texture mapping is, and the geometry's kind of low grade. Proportions are good. Those sprite trees just look like shit though. This kind of seems like a sandbox. Oh, seriously? That's kind of cool though. Look at those sprite benches. Oh my god. Oh my god, what is the deal? These steps are so huge. This is totally out of proportion. My avatar's like 8 feet tall. Those are like 9-10 foot piles. Glass rooms. Is there even a single interesting thing on this entire sim? Alright, here we go. This is it. This is why we came here. A brain in a vat connected to a typewriter. Some kind of EKG charting. I like the sound effects. That's pretty cool. It doesn't actually seem to do anything though. John Moores University. So this is another university sim. I must have gotten into like the university ring somehow. I'm not sure if I pasted this in or not, so I'm gonna do it just to be anal. Okay, no more like acronym sims. Those are clearly gonna be like universities or something. Okay, this sounds cool. Sydenham Crystal Palace. Isn't it crazy that I could just do this for days? I mean, there are so many sims. It's absurd. I could probably do this for weeks. Limestone quarry. Sounds really boring. I need to find a winner. Quantum sphere. Okay, that sounds like a winner to me. Oh no. Alright, note to self: in the future, avoid all sims that have the word quantum in them. Oh my god. Well, at least my avatar will have his chakra aligned while I'm touring the sim. Unicorns. Oh my god. Oh my god. A rose on the neck of a unicorn. Oh, those eyes. Oh, come on. Dun dun! Ugh. It's the Golden Palace. Whoops. Yes, I am actively monitoring the chat, as hard as it may be to believe. Ugh. Yeah, honestly, like, I want to tour the sim, but I just can't. It's too painful. It hurts. Ugh, it hurts everywhere. Okay, I need to get out of here. Like, ASAP. Does Second Life work for mobile? You know, they were trying to make a mobile version years ago, and I think it didn't work very well, and so they discontinued it. But I don't know, there might be a viewer, a mobile viewer. Honestly, I don't follow it really closely, like the development stream anymore, so I couldn't say. But if you just typed in, you know, Second Life mobile or whatever in a search engine, you might get some results. The cool thing about Second Life is that even if they discontinued a viewer like that, the backwards compatibility is so extreme that often even discontinued software will be able to still log into the viewer. I mean, you might have limited functionality, but it could still work to a degree. I was gonna click on this one, but it's an acronym, so I think I'm gonna avoid that. Cape Serenity. Look at all these parts that are for sale. I think I'm also gonna try to avoid sims that have parts for sale. Oh god, this is just like more acronyms. And I'm back to the mainland, but that's good. I want to get away from that university cluster. Look at this one. It's like a skull skull face thing. Shock troop face. That doesn't seem like it's ever actually going to load. Oh, there it goes. This looks kind of intriguing. That's a real pain in the ass to do that kind of terraforming. It looks like there's a pirate ship or something there, so I'm going to just check this out really quick. Or not. Ugh, I wish it wouldn't start me back at the sim I'm on, even though I totally understand why that happens. Swayland. Well, this looks interesting. Let's see if I can go here. Though I'm going to start out on one of these archipelagos. Okay, this looks promising. If anything, it has really good landscaping. Oh, I so called it. This is totally the tropical paradise episode. Oh my god. I hope the people that are watching this who actually use Second Life are taking note of like how rote and cliche a lot of these themes are. It's like, yes, you're paying $400 a month to lease a sim from Linden Labs. Maybe do something other than a tropical paradise or a fairy forest or a sex dungeon. Oh, this is cool. Those knots are in 3D. That's so cool. What is this? Sway Dench, huh? That last name, that really brings back some memories. Some of you will might remember Nightmare Dench and my many encounters with Nightmare Dench at at the various sandboxes in Second Life. Good times. Yeah, if you don't know who Nightmare Dench is, look him up on YouTube and you might derive some entertainment from it. Don't set your expectations too high, though. But that's cool. It's an animated seagull, or not a seagull, some kind of gull, but... Well, I guess all gulls that hang around the sea are technically seagulls, right? They're just not, the seagulls that I'm familiar with. Oh, that's cool. The animation's a bit choppy. Actually, that looks horrible, but A for effort. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. That's all the lyrics I know, but that was my little impromptu music video for you. Alright, I'm ready to walk over to the next island. Or fly, hopefully. Oh no. Alright, so I'm gonna paste this into the chat in case you want to take a trip there. Look at this cozy bungalow. Yeah, one thing I will say, like, if you're a creator and you own a sim, don't stop making cozy chill out spots, because the world needs more of those. Even the virtual world. Wow, this is Toucan Sam. He took his beak steroids but forgot to take his blue-footed booby steroids. What sways is. It's probably something I'm supposed to care about if I'm a regular visitor. Those are nice chairs. It's the peacock room. Sand, beach, relax. Ooh, nice wind chime. Wind chimes are hella hard to script in Second Life. This one's just scripted to rotate. But, oh, I think Sway Dench might have made a lot of the things here on this island. In fact, maybe Sway Dench owns this island. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, so Sway Dench is a creator who makes all these things. Maybe I could buy one of these. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, anyway, making realistic wind chimes in Second Life is super hard. So that's why those weren't realistic, they're just spinning. But it's a good enough effect, right? I mean, it's synthesized. So far I'm giving these assets like a... Well, maybe it's too soon to say. I was going to say A-, but until I've seen more, I think maybe like a B+. But the landscaping is like top notch. This is like top tier landscaping. I'm not going to lie, this is a straight solid A landscaping. Look at these trees. I wonder if she made these trees too. I know Alex Batter made those trees, but those are nice trees. Swayland. Oh wait, wasn't that what the sim was called? Yeah, duh. Oh god, I'm an idiot. Oh my god. There's so many wells in Second Life. This is another thing, wishing wells. Everybody wants to make a wish. This is a solid build. This attention to detail, every stone is articulated. Although I did notice one flaw right here on the side. Like, the shakes are overlapped in a weird way on the side. It's little details like that that make a difference between an A acid and an A+. So I think I'm back down to like a B+ now after having seen that, but... I mean, okay, yeah, I just want to say, like, if you're one person making all your assets, like, of course you're gonna miss little things like that. I mean, seriously, I was doing it for a while. The creators that have like A+ assets, they're teams. There's like a lot of people involved in those. Oh, cool! It's one of those little rain catcher things. These are so cool. Like, you attach them to your gutter, and then when the water hits the gutter, it goes down the little chain into a barrel like this. And I don't know what they're for. I think they're for sound reduction, because they like, or they direct the water, or maybe they're just purely aesthetics. I don't know, but they're really cool, I think. Like, no matter how hard I tried. Huh. It's kind of interesting. A little award shelf. Yeah, no matter how hard you try, if you're just one person, like, you're gonna make mistakes. If you have a team of people working with you, like, helping you out, like, editing your stuff, basically. It's like if you're a writer, you know, and you send your work off to an editor, or you work with an editor, it's going to be a lot better at the end of the day than if you just did it yourself completely. And it's the same thing is true with 3D assets. So if you've got somebody who like just checking your work, you catch all those things, and then you get A+ assets. It's a nice clock. Let's see, 10. Wow, 10:04. It's the time is accurate. Wonder what script they used. Wow, 2007. They've been around a long time. Uh-oh, I think there's a fire outside. Just a sec, let me go check. There's like a fire in my apartment complex, so I'm gonna have to sign out.